Networking for Success. Welcome to this course. Now, when you hear the word networking, there can be a whole bunch of things that come to mind. And for some of us, it's anxiety, right? If being in front of in a room full of people, having to introduce yourself, remember names, trying to figure out why you're there, all the energy that goes out to these types of events, whether they're really valuable, whether you can be doing something different, whether you should have a different conversation. It depends on who you are as a person, and we're going to get into this. Networking can present different challenges, and the way we see the word, it's such a big word. And I can remember, some of my own challenges networking and going to networking events. Worked at a firm, and I still attend networking events as part of my company. But my challenge is when I get into a networking event, I feel overwhelmed. My energy kind of decreases a bit. It just seems like there's a lot of people. Who do I talk to? What do you talk about? And I don't always get up for networking events. Now, not everybody's the same way. Some people will just get really excited. And I can remember this particular experience going with a friend of mine to a networking event in Ottawa. And we listened to a keynote speaker. I think there must have been 200 or 300 people in the room. Keynote speaker was terrific. And after the keynote speaker had finished, everyone got up out of their tables to go and maybe say hi to other people and introduce themselves. And I was exhausted. I was already exhausted with just the room of people, and I felt my energy dip. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to hang back at the table. I know I should be networking and maybe meeting in one or two people, but right now my energy is not so great, and I kind of want to hang back. The colleague that I went to this event with, boom, as soon as the keynote speaker finished, jumped up, ready to go, and went around the room, came back 10 minutes later with like 15 business cards, and I sat there and I was like, wow, that's amazing, because I did not have the energy. He had so much energy. Right, and so it depends on how you see networking events. I mean, that's a big one, a big room of people, keynote speaker. Again, it could be a very small meeting where you're meeting a colleague, meeting someone inside the organization. So we're going to look at networking in multiple ways. But one of the big things that we're going to talk about is to make your network and the record keeping around your network useful. Because the idea of just collecting people can make you feel better if you look at how many people you know on LinkedIn or whatever social media you might use, or business cards, however you form your business relationships and maintain them. But if you don't know how to access the value proposition of your network at the right time and right situations for a need, then it really just is a collection of business cards or a collection of people. So we're going to make this time together functional. I'm going to introduce a way for you to collect. I say collect, it's like we're collecting baseball cards or hockey cards, but in a sense we're collecting people, but in a very specific way so that you can easily access information, make changes to your network, elevate certain relationship, understand certain relationships, find certain needs, so that it's useful and not just a sea of names. And you're kind of looking at this like a database. And I know you heard the word database, and you're like, oh my gosh, database, that's not the most exciting thing I wanted to hear. But that's what this is going to be. We're going to try to create a database where you can use the information that you've collected around your network in ways that can help you, help your brand, help you sell services, meet clients, whatever it might be. So this is going to be very activity oriented, and we're going to use a course material that's been made available to you. It's an Excel spreadsheet. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to fill it out on a sample basis. It has, very simple, it has 6 columns. You can add more columns as I give you more ideas. But what it is attempting to do is actually make a functional database out of the people that you know, so that you can use this network of people to understand who's in your network, who do you need to be in your network, what relationships you need to look at. So we're going to get right into an activity with this. One of the things I'd like you to do, and it's going to give you some time, is to open up that Excel document that's in your materials. You'll see 6 columns. I'd like you to fill out a few names for column 1. Let's just say 10 names. Who are 10 names that you don't have to look at anybody? Let's say 5 to 10. If you don't get to 10, that's okay. But just write down some names of people in your network, in your business network. As they come to mind, just type them in column 1 only. Don't fill out the other columns, because we're going to go through this sequentially. All right, so I'll give you some time to do that.